Hey guys, Sue here, back again with another analysis. Um, we'll be doing the Sinnoh PR for the post draft. With me, I have Moma,
Hello?
and then I have Montman.
Hello.
They're both experienced players in Sinnoh, so this should be fun.
Am I?
Let's get right into it. Who do we have first?
Okay, so 16th overall with 7 points, we have the Cleveland Camera-Ups.
Good old Trump Kage's team.
So this was a pretty unanimous decision that Trump Kage was going to be the 16th team in this power rankings.
Yeah, I believe everyone put him at 16 except one who put him at 14. So,
Cough, cough, dicks.
cough, cough, drunk guy.
Hey, it's the man's birthday, give him a break.
But yeah.
Mention
So, just right off the bat, Trump Kage has 5 rock weaknesses on his team.
2 quad weak to ice.
And a very frail team overall.
And 3 dark types.
3 walls, 2 of them being weak 4 times. Or I guess he got 3 walls, but yeah,
He also
2
has
of
3
them weak
dark
to
types.
ice.
But you also don't want to depend on those walls having to come wall every single time, because that also makes it very predictable.
Gligar and Milotic currently have to go to every single one of his games.
Yeah,
I'm feeling attacked. Wait, are you guys talking about my draft? Whoa.
Oh, too soon.
You're right. That video goes up tomorrow. So yeah.
Yeah, just a bunch of fast, frail mons. Not too much special here. He luckily with his later picks, he did help make it a bit better with the Garchomp and the Milotic. Garchomp's didn't fit in too much with that Gligar already 4 times quad weak to ice, but Milotic was a huge pick.
Yeah, and he started his draft with Weavile, Infernape, and Mega Manectric, so I thought it was going to be one of our better teams, but alas.
He drafted Walrein.
He did, and Poisonium Z.
Yeah,
He's cold.
I think he might have been the last one to pick a Z Crystal at this point, but he still probably could have picked.
No, I was the final one.
Oh, were you? I thought it might have been a late pick, but either way, he still could have picked much better than that.
Yeah.
Alright, shall we move on to number 15?
Yep, so number 15, we have the Philadelphia Crooks, coached by Gasman, and they have 19 points.
So, yeah, so this team, whenever I looked at it, I see, besides the Alolan Eradicate, I really like his regular picks, but then his free draft ones, I just don't see any point in any of them. Durant, kind of, but...
Yeah, this started out as just like a regular draft or whatever, and then late in the draft, he basically decided he wanted a rain team. And at that point in the draft, it's far too late to figure out that you want to run a rain team. You have to go in knowing that you want a rain team, then you're going to build around it. Because now, this final roster, he has so many holes. He has 3 water types, which is very counterable. He lacks a grass type, he lacks a fire type.
Yeah, and I understand. I think he was going for the, Mega Scissor works really well on rain teams. But Mega Pinsir is another flying type with his Pelipper.
And his Zapdos.
Yeah,
And this is another team that's rather weak to rocks, with 4 of them being weak. And very important members, too.
If you look, in terms of sweepers, he has, 2?
Yeah, Pinsir
Maybe
and
Durant,
Kingdra. And Kingdra's very dependent upon range sweeping.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a 2 to 3.
for just regular, he pretty much has Pinsir and Kyurem.
For setup, he has Suicune. But, yeah.
Which also makes him have 3 water types, and no fire or grass type.
Alright.
Okay. So then we moving on to the next one?
Yep, Marble Fall and Annapolis Absols.
With 21 points, so just ahead of the Philadelphia Crooks.
What surprised me is that they ended up with 80 points left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can use that during the season to help fix this up, which I think he will definitely need. So.
Yeah, this team is just way too frail. The only real bulk on it is Donphan. Other than that, everything is going to die.
Maybe Manatee.
So nothing wants to take special hits on this team.
Like, when Otario is one of your bulkiest team members, then you have a problem.
Yeah, and Altari itself is hardly ever going to come to matches. And if it does come to a lot of your matches, then you're not in that good position, so...
Yeah, I feel like with a couple of transactions, this team could be pretty good, but, like, he picked up Smeargle instead of a wall, like...
Yeah, he can use that AD to get a tier 2 for the Smeargle. Pick up some sort of wall there, like a Toxapex or something, would be great help.
He really could pick up a tier 2, wow.
He really could pick up Toxapex.
Yeah, he really could.
He could get some Gothitelle.
I mean, I would, like, even in tier 3, Blissey is undrafted. Like...
Yeah. Chansey's right there as well in tier 2 still, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure.
At least this team, as frail as it is pretty fast, so if he can manage to get set up without dying in the first place, he can sweep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Which shows, like, if he can build around this better with some transactions, it's going to be a pretty scary team.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to go on to Brecker and the Etonics Cavaliers?
Yep. And he has 24 points.
Well, do you have any choice words to say?
Based off your guys' previous attempt at the video, I won't say much, but there was a previous coach before this, and I had a little match with him already, and let's just say he's not around anymore. And Brecker's filled in for him.
It makes it sound like you killed him.
Yeah, Brecker had 2 transactions that he was allowed to make. So, if you want to see those transactions, either join the Discord server or follow the official LDA Twitter.
Do we want to drop what those were, or no?
I would say no, because this is just post-draft.
Okay.
But yeah, so this team isn't Brecker's fault, but it's really not great. He has...
Thunder's first round.
Yeah, Thunder's first round. Yeah. I kept mentioning, I was like, hey, you need, like, during the draft, I was like, hey, you need Dark and a Fire type, and Incineroar is undrafted. So he went, okay, I'll get Turtonator. I was like...
He never ended up drafting a Dark type.
Yeah, and Incineroar
was 3.
Like, I don't understand.
Trump Kage ended up with more Dark types.
Yeah, maybe they need some transactions going there.
Yeah, they need to trade some things.
But yeah, so he got Excadrill, which it's decent without sand, but like on this team, I don't think it is.
Yeah, because he already has Mamoswine.
He already has he has a Steel and a Ground type.
And then his team is literally made up of 2 categories that they just about all fall in the same thing.
Yeah,
hard-hitting, bulky, physical attackers, and frail, fast special attackers. So he has no variety with this roster right now.
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, I think he should try to trade the Excadrill, because, like, you know, he's a guy with an actual sand team over here.
Yeah.
Like
we can talk to him a bit later.
But the one thing that during the draft we all thought this roster looked weird, and I think I figured out what really made it look weird, is there's no standout top pick that you have to really worry about. Thunderous was the first pick, and that's what you want to do that, but it just doesn't fill that role.
And then his other tier 1 was Excadrill, which even on a sand team, Excadrill isn't the scariest Mon.
Yeah, there's still plenty of ways to play around that.
Honestly, if I had to pick a scariest Mon, it would have to be the Mimos one, or the Conkeldurr.
Yeah, I would say Conkeldurr is the scariest in my opinion.
Yeah, Mammo or Conk.
And if Mammo or Conk are your scariest mons, there's a problem.
Yeah, especially because they're your tier 2s. Up next is the Pittsburgh Registries, coached by Cooper.
Yeah, and they come in at 26 points, just ahead of the E-Town Cavaliers.
This is another team I just find weird. Like,
it has a good variety though.
Yeah.
Like
it's a jumble of good mons that don't seem like they might not work well together.
Like, the way I kind of describe this team is like, this is when you want a good team but you can't afford it, so you go to Kirkland to pick one up. Like, it has all the elements, but it's just not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Farrah was saying.
Like Landers Incarnate round 1.
It's like you're going to a discount Toys R Us.
May Toys R Us rest in peace.
It's like when you go to Dollar Tree and they have a 50% off sale. But to be fair, all his free picks are sub sweepers. Gyarados with D-Dance, Mimikyu with Swords Dance, Venomoth with Quiver, Cresselia with Calm Mind. So there's that.
I will say
you could play pure bulk. You could try to multiple setup sweeps.
He doesn't.
The roster has no real holes, but at the same time, doesn't really seem like it stands out anywhere either.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say maybe it's a hole, but I don't see like an actual like physical wall. I think Quagsire or Cresselia are the closest, but I feel like
Cresselia can wall just about anything. So,
but Cresselia, at least for me, I prefer it special.
Cresselia being tier 3, it was wild.
And it was drafted how late in the draft?
It was like, I think it was his last pick.
It was drafted 187th.
Yeah, 187th overall was Cresselia.
Oh right, he has Landers Incarnate.
Yeah, when Darien was undrafted.
Until 29th.
Oh, I was going to grab that bad boy. I was going to have... I don't know, this team, it's not bad per se, but it's just not great.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I'd give it like a C rating, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this.
It's the El Paso Ludicolo with 28 points. Just slotting right in ahead of Pittsburgh. We're in quite a close jumble here, and then teams start to pick up ahead a bit after this.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the concept of this team, but like, Mega Sceptile doesn't work.
No, Mega Sceptile as a tier 2 Mega itself is poor value. And on this team with the Bulu, it's very poor pick, especially with how early he picked it up as well.
I'll say, I know this is just post-draft, but to his credit, he has fixed that problem, but...
Yes, he has, and I'd say he's now one of the top rosters, but during post-draft, it was not.
Yeah, we'll see in week 1.
The three steel types, the Bulu and the Sceptile.
The insane Earthquake weakness.
Yeah, like this team relies way too heavily on Tapu Bulu without any way to really keep Tapu Bulu alive. Because I feel like the 3 steel types was because he was trying to compensate for that 4 times poison weakness, but...
Yeah, he overcompensated way too much.
Yeah, far too much.
I think he could have honestly just drafted Metagross and let Lucario just live.
Again, like...
Yeah, he could have found a much better mon there. I think
like, Mian Xiao is not drafted. And that would have given him some pretty needed speed. As well as not another steel type.
And Mian Xiao can run mix sets as well as Lucario.
I'm honestly just a fan of Mian Xiao, so...
Same.
I'm sad to see it go undrafted.
And he does have the Steelium Z, which 3 of his mons can use, but at the same time, I feel like, well, it's definitely useful for his team. I feel like maybe Fireum Z, which was available at this point, could have been better just specifically for Heatran. Could have Grassium for Bulu. Bulu loves that.
Now that I'm looking at his squad, doesn't he have like 3 rockers.
Uxie, Lucario,
Yeah, 3 rockers.
Metagross.
Oh, wait. No, it's
Oh,
4.
Metagross
Because of
get
featuring.
it? I thought Lucario
Yeah,
got
Metagross
it.
gets it.
Maybe it doesn't, I'm being dumb, but I haven't used Lucario in like 3 years.
Yep.
He doesn't have too much for hazard removal, actually, I just noticed.
He
Is there
has.
anything other than Mantine?
Does Uxie get defog?
No,
I
UC
don't think
doesn't.
it does.
Yeah, so he doesn't have hazard removal either. I guess he's 3 steel type, so toxic spikes aren't a problem, but
We might as well say what he exchanged, what his mega was, since, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He dropped Mega Sceptile for Mega Aerodactyl, so he at least has another defogger. I doubt he's going to run defog on it, but at least there's that.
Plus,
It's an
he
option.
also lacked rock typing and a real good fast physical mon, so.
Yep.
Fits in really nice with that team.
Let's move on to the Victorian Vigoroids.
And they're up with 35 points. A little bit of jump in the point totals there.
yeah, so now we're getting to I guess the mid-table teams. Which number? Are they number 10 overall?
Yeah, they're number 10 overall.
Yeah, I feel like my problem is this is a sand team and a pretty good one, but it's nothing other than a sand team.
Yeah, it lacks a lot of options outside of that.
And
And without Excadrill, it also feels just not that intimidating.
It also doesn't have a big volt.
I like the concept, but one of my problems is when later in the draft, you can see he kind of tried to steer away from sand and have 2 options to run. And so in the end, he ends up with kind of a mediocre sand team and a trash non-sand team.
Yeah, that sums up pretty well.
And I know that Awkward isn't a fan of this draft either and is planning on changing it a lot, but...
Speaking of changes, didn't he
But
already make
it doesn't come right away, so he's
transaction?
stuck with this probably for about half the season or so.
Yeah, hasn't he made a transaction?
I'm gonna go check.
Yeah, he has one up right now, but it won't happen till week 2.
He dropped Doublade for Miss Magnus.
No he didn't, because Miss Magius is on my roster. Awkward.
Awkward.
I mean, he's the sheep master, so it's his fault. Okay, so that is a null and void transaction.
Yeah, I will give it to him. He has a pretty bulky roster, but the offense outside of the sand is extremely lacking.
Yeah. Shall we
Can we
move
talk
on?
about Hagus Blaziken?
Yeah, I just ignore Blaziken. I don't see the point of it.
Gives him a couple typings he doesn't have. It's not that big of a threat throw.
Blaziken's just not very good.
Plus, it's nice having a fire type that's not weak to rocks.
Yeah, but also adds another physical attacker, and I'm not sure how needed that was.
Actually, yeah, I didn't notice that either. He
Hey.
hardly has any special attackers.
He's got Tornadus and Togekiss.
He has like
Logan too, but none of them are like sweepers. Or
Tornadus, I guess,
Tornadus?
can be.
Electros, Slowking,
Good,
and
good physical wall or two can shut his team down then.
Yeah, this is where you bring really bulky physical team and then sweep.
Titanium didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't... He has one fighting type, and it's not even a great one. So I'm not sure about that.
He went in with a good idea. He just didn't come out with the results he needed.
Maybe Titanium was for the tourney.
Hmm.
Who's up next?
Next up, we have the most controversial, whether they're good or not, roster, the Arizona Diamond Blast with 37 points.
Soup with this guy at number 1. I put them pretty low. I think Moma did as well.
Yeah, I put them near the bottom as well.
Well, the reason I put them at number 1 is because, like, overall, his team depends on his play style, and if you saw any, like, replays of him, his playstyle is really revolved around a mixed offense.
And he's very familiar with these mons as well, because I've been scouting him, and a lot of these has been on his teams before.
So that gives him a big advantage that way. But this is completely a boom or bust team. It's either going to be really good or it's going to be really bad.
And can we get some Bug AMZ shuffle, please?
You know, Bug AMZ infestation is going to wreck some point.
That, and don't forget that Bug AMZ sticky web. He's really slowing the others down.
Yeah, I just don't see, like, it's, my problem is it's either a stall team or a sweeping offense team, and in my mind, like, in theory it could be amazing, but I don't think it will be.
I agree with you in that sense there.
Yeah.
Like, I expect to possibly lose to it week 1, but...
Yeah, that's the worst possible matchup week 1 until you see how it gets played. But he can play any style whenever he feels like it. He's not just stuck playing one game like a lot of other teams will be.
Yeah.
I'm getting shot at. Wait. At least I'm not a Sinnoh. Speaking of hazard removal, how much does he have?
Cloister, Claydol, both spinners.
Defog and Superior.
Yeah.
How much is he going to bring Defog Superior?
I mean, whenever he doesn't run AV or choice specs.
He also ended with 60 extra points.
That might could be useful. You could maybe drop like Shuckle if he doesn't like use it anymore.
I feel like Shuckle's going to go to 1 or 2 games.
It'll definitely come. He'll want webs a couple times. He has a pretty slow roster, so.
Yeah, there's one thing
that's another flaw
I mentioned is it's slow, but not slow enough that Trick Room is useful.
Exactly.
Because, like, he has Claydol, but...
The mons that want the Trick Room just aren't offensive, so they don't even benefit from it that much.
He's going to run negative natures on everything. Not much else to say, huh?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't really have too much else to say.
Let's go to the Green Bay Pangoros. He was furious in chat.
You know, I put this guy at number 2.
Yeah, I think I had him at 3 as well. So I'm not sure how he finished so low in the power rankings.
Some put him at 8th and some put him at 12th. But he's 8th overall with how many points?
With 51. This is when we had a big jump in the rankings. So we went from pretty much top 8 rosters and bottom 8 rosters were almost clear-cut as who we thought were good and who we thought weren't.
Yeah. I personally think, other than speed, I don't see, like, much holes in this. I guess Stealth rocks, but, like...
It's just a few mons, and Triagonal's probably not going to come too much, and Galvantula just comes in, sets up webs, or tries to destroy something. It's not going to switch in and out a lot. Salamence wants to sweep, so rocks aren't that big of a deal to his team.
Webs and Salamence with Moxie, I think that's going to be the scariest thing in his offense.
I also would like to point out just Fairy Dragon, Steelist, Salamence, Skarmory, Clefable, and Firewater Grass's Gastrodon, Mega Venusaur, Arcanine.
I don't know how I feel about Gastrodon.
With the mons he has, Gastrodon does fit in pretty well.
Yeah.
He seems just so super bulky and versatile. He only has 1 or 2 frail mons, Galvantula and Alakazam, but they're both terrifying. One sets webs, the other wants to destroy your life. So
He also drafted his mascot, Pangoro.
Which he called trash, but it's not even a bad pick.
Yeah, surprisingly, it actually fits his team pretty well.
It does.
Yeah. He gives him a dark typing and his own fighting typing.
And it doesn't get too much love, but I love the Reimpardos pick. It's so much fun. When you bring it, opponent's not ready for it, you destroy stuff.
Yeah. The Melbourne Armies are up next. That's DJ.
And he has 53 points, just up ahead of Green Bay Pangoros.
Yeah, a lot of these teams are like super close.
Yeah.
He made this team with leftover picks.
And it was a real good one from leftover picks, too.
This is just straight up bulky setup offense.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's going to be hard to break through that. Hard to take hits from it as well.
Bakerman can benefit from Trick Room.
Yeah, he got Trick Room with Stack Attacka, and like Stack Attacka itself has 131 attack, so like
yeah,
gyro balls coming from that thing is scary.
And he picked, I think Gyarados was his first or second pick. I want to say it was his first pick. Yeah, and people were questioning that, but he literally built around that thing perfectly for that to be able to set up and win late game.
I'm surprised he also got Mew.
He got that in the third round. Sniped awkward. I told him that's the only one who might take it from.
You know, this team is really solid. I can definitely see, like, again, it's going to be hard to prep for, but having that boost of it not having great speed gives you something. So I feel like number 7's a pretty good spot for it.
Yeah, any of the frail teams that can't take too many hits, they're going to have a very, very hard time trying to beat this team.
Yeah, hyper offense is going to be really hard to use.
And then he's also got Trick Room Vikavolt with Electrium Z. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I was wondering what the Electrium Z was for. And then I stared directly at Vikavolt.
Well, you got a Rotom too. Rotom likes that as well.
Yeah.
Not saying it's going to come that often, but
I don't know. I think Rotom Frost is still pretty good, though.
It's good offensive typing.
The only problem is, rock weakness, but he did have a couple of questionable picks. Like, he grabbed Nidoqueen. Again, like, Nidoqueen fits him really well, but I always like to point out Landorus Therian was not drafted. Like,
plus, Nidoking was around at that point too. He took it pretty early.
Yeah, like I think Nidoqueen fits his roster, but I feel like he could have gotten better options.
Potentially, yeah.
Well, at least he got his Ward tier 2s.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Gives you lots of options.
Can we mention this? But Mega Gyarados' sprite on the sheet is so spread out.
Here, I'll fix that. There we go.
Okie dokie.
Okay, any more comments on TJ's roster?
Nope.
Okay, next up we'll move to the 6th place team, who's actually in a tie for 5th place, with Galeda Tasseray, coached by birthday
Dix is gonna get mad.
Himself, Dix.
Dix is gonna get mad.
Yeah. So 55 points, so again, very close to the other teams, but I put him a lot lower than this. I think put him, I guess not a lot lower, I think put him 7th or 8th, but like, the team is good, but one of the things I very much like to point out is he has nothing in terms of special attackers.
He has Tabu Finny.
He's got Finny, Glaceon, Jolteon.
Masquerain.
Like,
he can run special Koopa.
You can run special Megazard X.
But again, like,
He can.
It's one of those things where we'll probably have one good strong special attacker per aim, so as soon as you take it out, you just physical wall.
So I helped him build for his week 1 match, and what I realized when I was helping him build his team does not work very well offensively, but it works very well as a bulky stalling team.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, with Mega Charizard X, I feel like that's a bad thing.
No, Mega Charizard X can play defensive.
Yeah,
I know.
Plus it can come in and sweep if he's able to stall everything long enough.
I just feel like this team's pretty good, but not fantastic at all. I don't see the point of Hitmontop.
Maybe it was just for another Intimidate user.
That may be a spinner, but he already has defog on
Yeah,
three,
always nice to have a
4
spinner.
other mons. 5 other mons, actually. So
but he already has Chestnut for a fighting type.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, they're very similar in what they do.
I feel like he could have, like, instead of taking Hitmontop, he could have taken Serena. Instead of taking Chestnut, he could have taken Mean Shell.
Yeah, that would have worked better.
Why was
then
Mean
again,
Shell
we
not
can-
drafted?
I will give him that the Hoopa. I'm not a huge fan of Hoopa, but Hoopa is something he needed with this draft because he just does not hit hard enough.
Yeah, Scissor can't even run a curse set.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a decent team. I just have
He covers
a couple problems
pretty
with
much
it.
all the typings as well, so no major rocks weakness. He's going to control it every single game. So
Yeah.
Maybe he makes it to playoffs. Maybe he doesn't. Number 5, I personally like this team. It's the Milwaukee Salzburg.
I'm actually probably the only analyst that really does not like this team.
yeah, I like his team quite a bit too. He has 1 or 2 very specific weaknesses, but if you don't have that, you're going to have a hard time with this team.
It's just so frail to me. Like, his only special wall is Registeel. Like he can run things. He can run things as special walls, but they're just not going to do it as well.
Yeah, I guess, but I run this especially defensive Decidueye sometimes.
Yeah, Decidueye can be surprisingly bulky with Roost as
But
well.
again, how much is he going to bring Decidueye if he's bringing Blacephalon?
Well, they're completely different though. They don't.
Yeah, they do different things.
Is Decidueye not a ghost type?
Decidueye is a ghost type.
Yeah, no, that's what I was
But they do
saying.
different
Like,
things.
knockoff is really bad against his team, or like really good against
that's
it.
his huge weakness. Is not basically nothing for it.
Which that's just why I wouldn't put him in the top 5. Is the knockoff weakness to this team?
Yeah, definitely.
Because Registeel is the only thing that really wants to take it.
And even then, it doesn't want to really lose to leftovers.
Yeah, because it doesn't have great recovery at all.
But at least he has Mega Lopunny, who can hit on the physical side. Blacephalon, who can hit on the special side. Zeraora, who can hit on both sides with Work Up.
Dragonite's very strong.
Yeah, he is primarily a very physical team though, so I feel like he might rely on Blacephalon too much as his pure special attacker for destroying teams. So,
and then he has
I also like
Ghostinium.
How did you guys let Zeraora fall down to 111?
Because I had Tapu Koko.
Well, I mean, there's that, but like, there's a team that took Electrium Z. Oh, whatever. He has Ghostium Z instead of Firium.
yeah, Firium Mind Blown would be pretty nice. That, or I think even Decidueye Z might have even fit better.
Yeah. I mean, is there anything else to
He
say?
has a pretty nice roster. Actually, he doesn't have much for hazard removal, I just noticed.
He has Decidueye,
Yeah, but Decidueye's not always going to do that.
Dragonite.
I feel like Blacephalon's not something you want taking rocks all the time.
Or
Yeah.
getting sticky webbed.
I think he should drop his Ariados because he doesn't need sticky webs.
No, he doesn't need sticky webs too much. He has a very fast team.
The only reason he would need sticky webs is so that he doesn't get caught up by fast sweepers. I mean, by choice scarfers.
Mm-hmm.
Up next is your Hartford Whalers, who won the lower tier draft the other day.
Shout out to the champion Hartford Whalers. I wonder who that might be.
This team is scary offensive.
Yeah, this team is just really solid. It's not super fast, but every single mon hits really hard, especially that Whalmer.
That's not a Whalmer, that's a Whalelord.
That Whalelord is the star of the team. Who wants his choice specs water spout?
Like, I really like this team, and I was going to rank it higher. I think I put it at like third. Except, as Moma himself said, he has one defogger.
Yeah, that's my huge weakness with this team.
When you're really bulky mons, you don't want toxic spikes just laying around.
Doesn't Kieran Black get defog?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, never mind, he gets Roost, my bad.
Primarina doesn't even get it.
Absol has magic bounce, but when am I ever going to want to switch that in? Unless I'm making hardcore reads.
You have ICMZ, so your Kieran Black is basically free to roam.
Yeah, and in week 1, I will say it did come in a little handy, so.
And, like, I understand you're saying you want to use a Mega you haven't seen drafted before, but I've seen Mega Absol drafted before, and I've never seen it used well. So maybe you'll be the first, but it just dies really fast.
With this team, I think it can be used pretty well because it's not reliant on coming every time, and it's just going to come specifically to matches that fit it well because the team's built well enough that it doesn't need to rely on its Mega. So it'll just pick and choose when it gets to come and what it wants to destroy. So
yeah. Hey, and you do have a lot of bulk, so that could work around it. I'm just not a fan of the Mon.
Oh no, I completely understand. It doesn't have any huge move pool either. So
isn't it wild that the Baltimore Braylooms didn't get Breloom, but the Hartford Wilmers got Whalelord and Breloom?
That's right, and they didn't even want Breloom.
Isn't it wild that they changed their name because they didn't get Breloom?
And they drafted Absol.
And copied the team name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, who's number 3?
The San Francisco Nido Kings with 64 points, 1 point ahead of me.
Bro, I love Adrian's team.
I do not love Adrian's team.
He has Gutsparks. He can't be doing that.
No ground or ghost type, but Dunsparce and Wobbuffet.
Minus the meme picks, his draft is very nice though.
Yeah. Like I like the meme picks, but in my mind, if you're gonna make meme picks, you gotta like work well with your meme picks.
I think Dunsparce is fine. Wobbuffet's the one I question.
Also, ground EMZ without a ground type, really?
He did want Rockium and got picked right before him, so I think he just didn't really know what he wanted, but yeah.
Could have gotten Psychium for his Latios.
No, he got sniped twice by Amizad. Mega Gallade and Rockium went, and he had to take Mega Metacham and ground you.
Mega Metacham's still a very good Mega, it's just a bit frail. But you have to take a hit from it first.
Especially with Breakout. That thing's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I like this team, but at the same time, I don't think it... Like, I don't even think I put in the top 5, and if I did, it was at number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been just outside the top 5 for me as well.
I think you had it at number 7.
I think I had mine at number 3. Number 2.
But I really do like the idea of Ninetales Celesteela together, because that just... If you can get an Aurora Veil up with Ninetales and you're running the weakness policy Totemize set, you can literally sweep the team with no problems.
Celesteela is going to be really scary.
It's a very good one. It can carry an entire team.
I'm sad I didn't draft it in Kalos.
I'm just wondering though, what does he have? Is like Ninetales and Celesteela his only real special bulk. I guess Latios, but
I mean, Rotom Wash.
Yeah, Rotom can be either way, and Gigalith can be pretty specially defensive in the sand if you want it to be.
Persian is...
It's just not great defensive typing.
Yeah. I was saying, like, I feel like his team does lack some bulk on the special side.
Well, I mean, not every team is perfect. Especially in a number 1 team.
I mean, pretty close. No, there are plenty of holes in it, but...
Next up is a team that's Adrian.
Oh, wait, never mind.
You were going to say something? No? Okay. Here's I'm His Dad and the Toronto Toxicroaks.
Now, how many points did these guys have? Because I thought it was a decent jump.
68. It's not any huge jump. The top 4 are pretty close. Or top 2nd through 4th specifically.
Yeah. Okay, so I really like that somehow we got Landorus Therian, pick number 29 overall, to pair with that Jirachi. I think this draft is really solid, except, and I know like Momo put it at number 1, so he definitely likes it. I don't like, I can kind of see Diancie, and I figure that's pretty good, but I don't know why he got Steelix when he was Jirachi and Landorus for those typings.
Yeah.
I feel like Jirachi does Steelix's job.
Yeah, they're pretty similar. Different typings. The main issue there would just be similar ground weakness.
And then in terms of walls, he has Diancie, Steelix, Regice, and then he has bulk, but not really a wall. Other than those.
I would say that would be the main issue with this team. It's not a big issue to have, is that your bottom 3 are slow, bulky, and somewhat similar, even if their types are different.
Rock games, he's going to help out that Lando T a whole lot.
But what I liked about this team a lot, I noticed as he was drafting, it seemed like he was just taking the best leftover Mons that no one else was taking. And I thought, like, oh, well, that'll give you a somewhat good team, but not great synergy or anything. Turns out he drafted them perfectly. That he got, to me, it feels like perfect synergy with this team. It covers pretty much all the typings. He's got his hazard removers, plenty of hazard setters, good offensively on physical and special side. Got some speed, got some bulk. To me, it checks off basically all the boxes.
Got all the typings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like...
The volley's so super versatile, it can cover anything he needs any week.
Yeah, like, while I don't think it's the best team, I did put in number 4, so I do quite like this.
Yeah, I was torn between this and the other team for first, but I gave this one a slight nudge.
I was the only one that gave the other team first, so...
Alright. Let's look at this trash squad.
So
with only measly 74 points. Couldn't do any better than that.
Yeah, I only placed first by 6 points. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, you only beat Trump Kage by 67 points. Could do better.
Oh, gosh.
And when do you play Trump Kage?
I can't wait for whenever it is.
You're gonna get
Watch
swept.
me. I guarantee I'm gonna lose, but
You're gonna get swept.
Why is gonna sweep you?
that Poisonium Z I trashed is gonna run and come through.
Okay, so would the first overall team like to give us his explanation of why he thinks he's the best team, and then we can criticize why he's definitely not?
Okay, so I have exactly one of every type, so there's no clear weakness there. I have a good balance of bulk and speed on my team. I have enough. I feel like almost every Mon on this roster is really versatile, so you don't know what I'm going to run. And I also feel like every single one of them is viable to be brought to match rather than some Mons like, say, your Mega Absol, where you can see it coming not too much. I can see like every single one of mine going to every match if I so please. So I got Coco Lucha. Throwing that out there. So, where's my trash talking?
Oh, I thought you might want to keep going on that.
I was waiting for you.
So, the roster's definitely really good. There's hardly any holes here, except I might want to say I think the other team can beat you in terms of hazards. You do have a few nice hazard removers, but your hazard setters aren't exactly the best.
My hazard setters are Piloswine, Lycanroc, and Drapion.
Oh, yeah, Toxic Spikes. I was only even looking at rocks. But, yeah. And those are mons that they come for good matches, but they're not going to come all the time. So, depending on what you bring, it's going to be obvious what your setters are and stuff. The other thing, it's not that big of an issue because it's generally this way for most teams, but your bulk is really slow. That's not a big issue because you want to be bulky, but fast bulk sometimes is pretty nice too.
Well, I will say that's where, like, it's part of the reason I got Latias. But
yeah, Latias is the only speedy bulk there. So
can I rip into this team now?
Go ahead.
Alright. Number one. You're so basic, you got Coco Lucha, right?
You know, I feel like the best way to describe this team is multiple people said, "Am I on the OU ladder right now?"
Yeah, you kind of are.
Next up, week 17, aka the last week, you face Trumkage.
Oh,
so you know,
watch that be a make or break playoff for me.
And Fire MZ for Volcanion is decent, I guess, but it doesn't work well.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I will say, I know that, but spoiler for anyone facing me, I guess. I don't think I've ever used a Z move like on a team I've created because I stopped playing competitive when Gen 7 came out.
You want to talk about things I forget to use?
I did the same thing you did, but then I started using it, and I realized bringing it once in a while is actually kind of handy. I think Lycanroc Z move might have been better, just because you know how hard that's going to hit.
I did not know it got a signature Z move.
Yeah, it does.
It's scary.
The thing is, another thing I like about that, though, is if I figure I don't want Firium, like, this isn't a team I don't think I'm going to do, like, any transactions to in terms of Mons, so gives me plenty of time to figure out what Z Crystal I want.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think an overheat from Fire MZ Volcanion is like base 220 power though, so, and he has base 130 special attack, so it is something.
That's nothing. My Chandelure will come in a flash fire.
That's nothing, my bro. I got a big teeny with Fire MZ. We create. Oh wait, never mind.
Wrong league.
I cry every time.
Speaking of things like I don't use, because like you say you don't use Z crystals. Your boy over here, you won 2 games yesterday. No use of megas. Feels good. You guys will see those later.
Well, your boy over here wins championships and makes people rage quit leagues.
So did you say you had one other rip for my draft?
Oh yeah. Awkward got mad in chat. I don't know if you saw this. It was like, I control F. Where was this Miss Magius? So
I drafted. Hold on, I was in the draft league call with him when I drafted Miss Magius. He was there when we did the draft analysis.
Yeah, you're right. He was.
And 2 of your Pokemons in Pilot. Wait, would Piloswine be bulky?
Piloswine is pretty bulky and it has base 100 attack.
Yeah. So 2 of your Pokemons are susceptible to knockoff.
Yeah.
Which is like.
I will say type Null can run without knockoff or without Eviolite, which I like.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, what is he gonna do? Flame charge?
When is flame charge not useful though?
Feels like most of the time.
Fair point, but
I mean, it's good on the one.
The other thing that's really nice about your team is your priority is insane. Like the mons that have it. Bullet Punch, Mega Scizor, and Accelerock, Tough Claws, Lycanroc.
Ice Shard, Piloswine.
Yeah, like that's not gonna hurt too hard, but it's great offensive typing for priority.
Hawlucha with Flying Press, get everything for neutral, except for ghost types, which you can't touch.
If only Hawlucha got Gale Wings.
Yeah, Hawlucha, but wouldn't have Unburden boost. It doesn't hit hard enough.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. So that concludes that, doesn't it?
Anything else we need to add, or do you think we're done here?
Yeah. Let me just do some shameless plugging. Mom, I heard you're looking for some test coaches.
I indeed am. If you are very committed and you don't even have to be that great at battling, just committed and interested in trying something new, slide into my DMs. That is at Mottman579, 6339, something like that, on Discord.
I'll leave his Discord ID in the description. MOBA. Your league's not starting up anytime soon, but
it'll be starting. I don't mind getting that news out. It'll be starting probably in about a month or so. It'll be a pyramid-based league where, depending on how well you do in a season, you'll move up and down tiers. Where the goal is to reach the highest tier and win the ultimate championship. I'll be looking for coaches who are pretty committed to it. The system will be set up pretty well. All the sheets will be automatic, and league should run really smooth with basically no problems throughout.
Yep. And I know Dix is hosting a No Legends League. It's going to start up somewhere between January and February, which is going to be like towards the end of the Lunar Dawn Association. Farah is hosting.
Just watch. He might be drunk when he hosts a draft.
And what I wanted to say was Farah's hosting a Distorted Suko subscriber league. We'll be using custom tiers. We'll be adding tier S with Ubers. Is there anything else? Let me check.
I think that covers all the shameless plugging.
All right. Make sure to subscribe, like, and follow the LDA official Twitter to keep updated on the league. Callus will be up tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.